Set for a start, flag goes up from behind. Gates crash open in their sense on their way, and Lusher now easily lost 2 or 3 lengths when the starter said go. Matuchev, one of the first ones to respond, is on the improve to go and set up the early gallop. Bellas Pablo is also right up there in a handy position. Then comes Diamond Rock, who's only racing 2.5 lengths off the early speed on the outside of runners, is Avignon, and that's separating maybe 3 lengths the first quartet. Just in behind that is Greenland, racing on the outside of Norshan, then a further 2 lengths back and running to Jovial. It's a nice strong gallop out in front, a further length back. Towards the inside of runners is Fairfield, who's racing on the inside of Final Edition. Another length back around to Lusher, now is racing on the inside of Gold Jets, and there's about a dozen lengths separating top to tail as they're ready to enter that turn with just on 1,000 meters left to go, and out in front it's Matuchev, who's going to try and go gun to tape. Avignon on the outside in second, Diamond Rock sits battle on the inside rail in third, then a further half a length back to Bellas Pablo on the outside in fourth, about 4 lengths separating first to fourth. Norshan Nets best in fifth, then comes Greenland, who's racing about 5 lengths off the pace. A further length back and running to Fairfield, then another 2 lengths back to Jovial. Lusher now Nets best, Final Edition, 1 from last, Gold Jet last of all, as they straighten up with the run for the judge with just on 600 meters left to go. Matuchev still in front. Now gets challenged by Avignon on the outside. Diamond Rock is still hard held at this stage down the center of the course. Norshan has to switch out for a run deeper out in the track. Greenland is trying to work his way into the race as they're into the final 300 meters. Diamond Rock has moved up with ease. It's Diamond Rock that's now hit the front with 200 meters left to run. Out the pad chasing is Norshan, but looking back, Diamond Rock is still got 2 lengths clear. Norshan trying to fight back, but it's Diamond Rock who finally gets it right, and Diamond Rock a convincing winner from Norshan into second, Avignon third, then came Greenland in fourth. The 103 from the right-hand side, pink sleeves, blue cap, winning jockey Elder Demare for the Candice Bass Robinson stable, was hard held going into the final 300 meters. Now it's clear. Norshan had to switch out and was checked for a run down towards that inside rail and got going too late into the closing stages, as has been his story in his career so far. But number 1, Diamond Rock, a very good winner in the opening leg of today's Pitch 6.
Race 4, the King's Club Maiden Plate over the 1600 meters has been won by number 1, Diamond Rock, the son of Erupt. Well done to Sibongele Sijobo. He receives 1,000 Rand thanks to Cape Racing and Hollywood Bets. Diamond Rock, as you mentioned, Candice, you know, thankfully he pulled it off today.
Thankfully he did, because I said he was going to the chop, otherwise I think he's going to be going anyway this week, Vicky. Yeah, I think he desperately needs to be gelded, but I'm pleased that he's got his maiden out of the way now. It's taken some time. I thought he would have won his maiden a good couple of races ago, but he always seems to have an excuse somewhere along the line. And, you know, as I said to you, he can be a bit sluggish out the gate. So Elder made sure today that he got a nice posse and everything went well for him. So thanks to him for a nice ride. And then, yeah, as I say, he's a lovely horse. He's a tall, scopy horse. I think he's got a bright future ahead of him. He just needs a bit more time to mature in that, Vicky, and we've always rated him as a young horse. So, yeah, I think I'm glad that he's put this to bed now.
Yeah, and I think that's what you've said. You know, he's got the win out the way now, so now you can just go forward.
Yeah, he can. And as I say, he'll be gelded and given a little bit more time. And as I say, I think in time he's going to be a very nice horse. So well done to all the partners. Most of them are here today, barring Brian and Fiona. They unfortunately aren't here today, so well done to them too. And glad I could give Elvery another winner because he's been moaning at me for that. So well done to him. Super win, and yeah, thank you.
Well done, Ken.
Thanks.
Elder Demare, the jockey aboard number 1, Diamond Rock. Elder, well done for the win.
Thank you, Vicky.
I thought it's the type of ride that you knew the horse. You know, how patient you were in the straight just sort of indicated that.
Yeah, definitely. He's been a bit frustrating because he's shown us a little bit at home and he just hasn't quite brought it to the course yet. And he's shown flashes of it, but not exactly what you know he can produce. But in saying so, he's a big horse and he probably needs a bit of time, and he perhaps also needs a bit of gelding, much like Markets. It made him improve, so I'm sure Diamond Rock will do the same. So smart sort, nice action, not quite a Durbanville horse. As you can see, it's the front and he just doesn't quite concentrate as he should. So once all those things come together, I think he'll be quite fluent. Pretty sure because he's taken so long to win his maiden that he wouldn't have a high rating. So we could perhaps place him in the right places, and eventually when he's strong enough to do a 10 furlong, I think we'll have a bit of fun with him. So to the Stokes, Alvery, Elreen, Shannon, everyone involved, Mr. Shirtliff, he had 2 in the race, so I'm not sure which side of the fence he was, but here we are in the winner's box, and I'm pretty sure he's a horse you can follow with a bit of confidence.
Aldo, thank you very much. Well done.
Thanks so much. Thank you to Candice. Doing a phenomenal job. Our horses aren't quite there yet, but I think with some fine-tuning, I think it's a stable you can follow with a few weeks to come now. They're knocking on the door, and they're not just quite there yet, but I'm pretty sure they're about to turn the corner, and I'm pretty sure some exciting times ahead. They've got some nice big horses stepping out pretty soon, so lovely times ahead. Course manager, well done for having the course in this condition. Everyone at Cape Racing involved, thanks so much. Drakenstein, always appreciated. Thank you.
There you go. That's Aldo de Meyer, jockey aboard number 1 Diamond Rock. Now we've got a whole bunch of guys. Marsh, I don't know if you're a spokesperson, but everyone's more than welcome to come and join me. Well done.
Yeah, I'd like them to come up. Alvary, Gary, yeah.
I see that's not talking. You're in the lineup. Well done, Marsh.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm sorry Brian, our other partner's not here. Maybe he should stay away more often, but he's got his... then they win, you know. But he's got a reason to. So, yeah, Brian, well done. And to my good friends here, well done to them as well. We've been expecting a win from the source for quite a while. He's had his issues and not sort of physical, but he just hasn't put it together. And the way he won today, I'm sure he's going to really carry on and win quite a few more. To Vosfontein, well done. And Aldo, I begged to keep the horse in a good position from the one draw, and he said he duly delivered. Indeed he did. And yeah, well done to all. And Candice, thank you.
Well done, Mark.
And the stable, thank you. Yeah.
There you go. No, you can't shuffle along. you made it over. Well done for the win.
Thanks so much. Very nice to have one.
And just looking at Aldo, I mean, he was, look, a bit nerve-wracking, I always say, watching them sort of be patient, but a good ride from Aldo.
Yeah, I think it was a very good ride. He sat handy and he got into his rhythm very early in the race. And obviously from that draw, he was there for nothing. So the worry was that he didn't break that well and get going early on, but he did. He was always handy and it looked quite easy at the end.
Very exciting times, and by the sounds of it, he's going to be gelded and then more to come in the future.
Yeah, what a reward, eh? There he goes back tonight and he's having his own thing. And they say, well, you're going to get chopped tomorrow, so I'm not sure he's going to win next time.
Well done for the win.
Thanks so much.
And then lastly, Alva, if you don't mind coming across, I'll have to ask you, put you on the spot, you're giving Candice a bit of a hard time.
All the time. What do you expect? Mark, Candice, the whole stable, but it's been a while since the winner, but finally now it comes, and hopefully we'll now get going with more winners.
Well, what you're going to do, you all got to gather. This is the trick. You see, you're all here today now. You get a winner.
We usually every race meeting, all of us or most of us, and but finally, we finally got the win, and I'm glad for Marsh and Brian Riley and Lemke and all the guys. So let's hopefully we get more winners now.
Well, the best part, the celebrations. Enjoy them.
Yeah, well, that's finally now, yeah. So it's about time that we can actually take off work sometimes to actually get a couple of winners in. So it's now load shedding can continue for the rest of the day.
Well done.
Just not in Durbanville.
Well done.
Thank you.
There you go. Lovely to have the owners on course number 1, Diamond Rock. Julia obliges for them, and as Canna said, he's been a horse that can sometimes be a little bit frustrating, but not today. Most certainly rewards the owners. Well done to Vosfontein Stud for breeding, and lovely win from the Peach of a draw under a good ride by Aldo. Number 1, Diamond Rock, your winner of race 4.